Depression can best be defined as, quote, a common and serious mental disorder that negatively affects how you feel, think, act, and perceive the world. Some symptoms of depression are the following: feelings of hopelessness, sadness, or emptiness, frequent or recurrent thoughts of suicide, suicide attempts, or death, weight gain and increased cravings for food or weight loss and decreased appetite, and many more. Depression is also extremely prevalent in the United States. In 2021, 21 million U.S. adults aged 18 or older experienced a minimum of one major depressive episode. That was 8.3% of the entire U.S. adult population. Additionally, adults aged 18 to 25 had the highest prevalence rate for a major depressive episode. This age group made up 18.6% of the total depressed population in the United States. Lipids are oily compounds that are insoluble in water, but they are soluble in organic solvent with a carbon basis. The three types of lipids are triglycerides, phospholipids, and sterols, for example, cholesterol. Fatty acids are broken down into saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated. Polyunsaturated is broken down into omega-3 and omega-6. Moving on, cholesterol is a non-essential nutrient that is made primarily by the liver, where it is then sent out into the bloodstream. It can only be consumed through animal sources. There's LDL cholesterol, which is bad cholesterol, and HDL cholesterol, which is good cholesterol, and high cholesterol is a heart disease risk factor. One study looking at the link between depression and consumption of fats and lipids looked at the effect of omega-3 fatty acid supplements on mitigating depressive symptoms in mild to moderately depressed individuals. The results indicated that omega-3 fatty acid supplements had a significant effect regarding improving depressive symptoms in the sample. Another study looking at the connection between depression and the consumption of fats and lipids was a cross-sectional analysis that looked at the link between depression and remnant cholesterol levels. 5.88%, which was a weighted percentage, of participants had depression. The entire sample consisted of 8,263 adults. The results demonstrated that there was a significant positive link between depression and concentration of remnant cholesterol.
Proteins are the fundamental building blocks of all life forms. They're composed of 21 amino acids, which are categorized by essential amino acids, which we must eat through our diet because our bodies cannot make them, and non-essential amino acids, which our cells can synthesize. In times of high stress or intense physical activity, some non-essential amino acids become conditionally essential, meaning the body's demand suddenly exceeds its ability to produce them. Skeletal muscle makes up roughly 45 to 55% of your total body weight and is in a constant state of flux between building up synthesis and breaking down. Transitioning into mental health, research involving over 17,000 adults found a powerful inverse association between animal protein intake and depression. Women consuming the highest levels of animal protein showed a 36% lower likelihood of depression. This association was notably significant for women and older adults over 65. This benefit is largely due to animal proteins being rich in tryptophan. Tryptophan is an essential precursor for serotonin, a neurotransmitter that regulates mood and emotional pathways. Beyond amino acids, animal-based proteins deliver bioactive micronutrients such as vitamin B12, heme, iron, zinc, and magnesium that are critical for brain function and neurotransmitter synthesis. Deficiencies in these specific minerals are closely linked to the development of depressive symptoms. This research suggests that the quality and source of protein matter significantly for mood regulation. For those vulnerable to depression, maintaining a diet with a modestly higher proportion of animal protein was associated with the lowest risk of depression symptoms.
When people hear carbohydrates, they usually think of diets, weight gain, or cutting them out completely. But to actually understand carbs, we first need to understand what they do in the body. When you eat carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into glucose, which enters your bloodstream and raises your blood sugar levels. This glucose is then used as the body's main source of energy. To manage this, your pancreas releases insulin, a hormone that helps move glucose into your cells. But this system doesn't just affect your energy levels, it also connects to brain functions and mental health. The articles I found for this assignment supported that carbohydrates influence neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, which play major roles in mood, motivation, and emotional regulation. This means what and how much carbohydrate you consume can affect how you feel mentally. Research also suggests that diets higher in lower glycemic index carbohydrates, meaning carbs that release energy slower, may help reduce the risk of depression. Some studies have even found associations between high carbohydrate intake patterns and mental health challenges in adolescents. But this doesn't mean carbs are something to completely cut out or fear. Carbohydrates are essential for energy and normal brain function. The key is not elimination, but balance.
Complex carbohydrates are long chains of sugar molecules. Unlike muscles, the brain cannot store its own energy in the long term, so this is where complex carbohydrates come in. Due to their long structure, they take longer to break down, which provides a slow and steady supply of glucose to the brain. This is better than simple carbohydrates that can cause sugar spikes and crashes, which can lead to a fluctuating mood. The stability the complex carbohydrates provide is very important for the prefrontal cortex of our brain, which is responsible for cognitive function and emotional regulation. Fiber is a main example of a complex carbohydrate. When we consume fiber or other indigestible complex carbohydrates, they pass through the small intestine and move into the large intestine, where a process called bacterial fermentation occurs, which is when fiber gets converted into short-chain fatty acids. These short-chain fatty acids have a lot of roles, such as reducing inflammation and helping with neurotransmitter production, but mainly they communicate with the brain directly to improve mood. A study conducted in 2022 found that a 5-gram increase in fiber intake was associated with a 5% decrease in risk of depression. Another study also found that consumption of fiber is associated with shortened episodes of depression for those already diagnosed. So we learned that complex carbohydrates play a huge role in the communication between the gut and the brain, and this communication is called the gut-brain axis. Through this axis, carbohydrates help with inflammation control by fostering anti-inflammatory bacteria in the gut. High-processed carbs can weaken gut bacteria, which increases inflammation and can potentially lead to negative physical and mental health effects. The microbes in the gut help with immune signaling by reducing neural inflammation and neurotransmitter production by assisting with the synthesis of mood-regulating chemicals like serotonin. A study conducted in 2025 found that frequent consumption of complex carbohydrates is linked to a reduced risk of neurodegenerative diseases and improved cognitive health.